Welcome back to War Thunder and welcome to the Duck Talks number 27. And you hear it in my voice. I'm pretty sick at the moment. This might be a shorter than usual episode, but it is important that I make it. As of I have to record it. Now a few things were announced, and it's actually about Patch Day. And Patch Day is the day in War Thunder that is outstandingly stupid to play for me. I will come to this in a moment. So there is a lot of topics to talk about, but before I go to that, as usual, I will answer some questions from last week's Duck Talks. So if you have questions about the game or what I think about certain things, hammer them in the comment section. I will answer them directly, but if they are for a wider audience, I will answer them in the next week's Duck Talk. So, Ducktheer asks, what about the introduction of paper tanks like the E-Series and so on? Well, first of all, I have no problems for certain paper tanks if there are at tier 5 and if they have the purpose of filling a gap that can't be filled otherwise. So in this respect, we also have already certain paper tanks. For example, the Panther 2 and the 10.5 centimeter King Tiger. I think they never existed, except in blueprints. Furthermore, about the E-Series, well, the E100 that we have in the game as a rare event vehicle actually existed at least once in this current configuration, so it's not directly a paper tank. You can see it as a prototype. And you know, the British tank destroyer, the FE 4005, I guess, also existed just once as a prototype, so that is a regular tech tree version as of today, as the patch gets released. Yeah, so at tier 5 we have no problems. Furthermore, there are the R2Y2s for jets, you know, for the Japanese. So without those planes there would be not much left for the tech tree. Then USA Ball asks, what's my favorite plane? That's a good question. I do not really have a favorite plane, but I once had one, and that was the H6K4. I still really like it. It is really a great plane, but I loved to take it out with a bunch of friends in arcade and just ruffle stomp the entirety of the enemy team, being absolute the dominator of the match. Those days are long gone, and if you are new to the game or for example joined the game like a year ago, you never have seen the glory days of the H6K4. It was outright completely overpowered, imbalanced, and a lot of fun. You could land in arcade with 800-900 kilometers an hour on the airfield. You came to a quick halt, repaired, your machine gunners were shooting down biplanes left, right, and centers. Your 20 millimeters rear gunner made no prisoner either. It was a lot of fun. You got repaired, you had an air spawn, and you were directly on landing course again. It was a lot of fun. Joshua Gliese asks if I plan to show you guys more different games, such as for example Rise of Flight. Well, first of all, there is one other game that I from time to time feature on this channel. This is World of Warships, a title that I like, although the developers screw it up more and more in my opinion, and it's less and less fun to play. Well, I say I do not exclude the thought about this, but currently the channel is all about War Thunder. War Thunder is my passion. I love it. I like it. I'm decent at it. The tank reviews are kind of a standard on my channel, and so I can promise you one thing: the majority of content in the foreseeable future will be all about War Thunder. Rise of Flight is more a simulator. I think I'm best at somewhere between arcade and realistic. And this is what War Thunder is for, in my opinion. Simulator might be something that I try out from time to time, but it's not really a major aspect. Then Hadi Farah asks if I accept it if you guys add me on War Thunder. Well, first of all, you all can add me. However, it is relatively unlikely that I add you back because I already have 2,500 subscribers, and the friend list has, I guess, just 100 places. So it's limited, and there are some very old friends that I still want to have in my friend list, and some contacts that I want to fly regularly with. Uh, so it's unlikely that I add you back. This is not a I don't want to insult you guys with that, but just accept the fact that my friend list has a limited amount of places like yours, but it's it takes a while up until the point that you get to the end. And for me, a friend is a real friend, not just somebody that I know from the internet. And then a gift asks if I make a video about air superiority in tank RB. The simple fact is just play Japanese tanks, try to get enough spawn points for a plane, and you have automatically air domination. While this is a little bit of a funny comment, it's that is kind of true. So let's talk about the actual topics of today's Duck Talks. The first thing is a little rant about the actual existing of a dev server. Now stay with me. A dev server is practically a very good idea because it allows a decent amount of players to get on it and to just test stuff that I think a lot of the developers don't have the time for testing to, or they just wouldn't notice it. So you just let a lot of people get your hands on the stuff and let them try to break it. And a lot of people are specialized on trying to break things, so then they could report the stuff back to you. You could fix it before it goes in open release. However, this does not happen. Furthermore, we see that from this weekend's dev server, a lot of stats have changed into the open released version. At least that's what I got notifications of on certain so-called leaked facts. So that means the dev server is just there practically for some YouTubers to get footage material for their YouTube channels. Now, I did this in the past myself. However, there was never enough time to actually do the testing. I talked about this issue, the dev server just being open for a few hours, short notification times, you still have to download it, and so on. I talked about this a few months ago with the last patch, I guess. But however, now the game is in open release, This is the first major patch after War Thunder's official release, and I hope that War Thunder would change this practice or gaijin, but they have not changed it. It's still the same mess, and so the dev server actually fails its intended purpose. At least that's what I think its intended purpose should be. So no real bug finding possible. Then there is the next problem of the actual patch day. Now, what I want to talk about this through is not really a problem that you can avoid as a game developer, but it will be the day of the beginning of the spam of the new vehicles, and so this will be a real ugly time for somebody that tries to catch the average kind of game, like me, or to trying to get footage for tank reviews, which will be the next thing. I have to delay a lot of the tank reviews. I have no access to the IS-6. The T-34 needs time to get researched, and the King Tiger tank review has to be delayed as I have no absolute idea how the new tanks will influence the meta at high tier or high rank tier 4. The King Tiger gets more and more power creeped in this respect, which is a shame because now the game drives itself more and more into the direction of another game that I actually left because it was the game and the way it was. There are still major differences, but you kind of see the same approach. I mean, the Americans need another heavy tank, no doubt about that. The Super Pershing is just food for any King Tiger, while it technically can defeat a King Tiger, and lately it more and more does because of the 90mm APHE shell being really powerful. It still can get one-shotted just by a simple shell passing through the spaced armor on the front. And then there is a final thought about the T-34. Now, I think at this point nobody has seen an APHE shell for the 120mm gun on the T-34. Well, first of all, never say never, because after many patches, after the introduction of the T-95, with the introduction of the T-29, we saw also the introduction of the APHE shell for the 105mm for the Doom Turtle, which significantly improved its killing capabilities. Overall, the vehicle itself did not change, but finally you could kill something if something was stupid enough to get in front of your gun. So this could also be the change with the T-34. Also, there were numerous changes on the dev server and in the aftermath to the T-34 with its HVAP shell that should have improved spawning effect or something like this. I had no chance to test it, and even if I had the footage right now, I could not give you a direct opinion because it was changed afterwards. The dev server was just open for a few hours. You potentially could test a few vehicles, record a little bit of flying around, or driving in the test hangar, the one, or the test map, so to speak, the shooting range. And so you really couldn't do anything in terms of real testing. Even if you went into a battle, you had to face bots, and they never really show you how real players would face you, approach you, take you out, and how you could take them out. So it it would have ended up with a rather incorrect tank preview on the dev server. Previous tank previews were relatively precise because nothing has changed, and so yeah, I'm really interested in how the IS-6 plays out. I will give you a very detailed tank review on that tank as soon as possible, but first I have to get my hands on it, and I have to I have to spend $40 on a tank that I absolutely do not need. Yes, I'm in the Gaijin Partnership Program, but for this month I actually got the stuff that I want or need, so that's a bit unfortunate. I thought that patch would come a few weeks later, but hey, it is what it is. Anyways, I'm sorry, but I can't continue because of my voice. I kind of thought I covered everything. One exception, the PvE content. I'm really interested in how it works out, what Gaijin has actually refined. If you have not seen my realistic expectations video, basically it is a battle against bots, and from what I have seen from the announcement from Gaijin, it reminded me on the Halloween or about the Halloween event that we saw on Halloween on Vostok, where I think it was called The Last Stand, and that was outright imbalanced and completely frustrating. The bots had all the precision that they need while firing on the move to take you out from across the map, and when you were locked on by those bots, it was flying over a base airfield, AAA, in realistic battles. It was not fun. So I'm sorry, but I have to cut it right now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the patch day and the dev server issues. If you agree or disagree, give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we will see each other in the skies, on the battlefields, and on the waves of War Thunder.